Blue Star reported numbers as well. Stock selling off. There you go, 5.5% lower, 204. Mr. Satish Jamdar is Managing Director at Blue Star. He joins in, as always, to talk about the results. Good morning. Prashant this side, sir.
Good morning.
What went wrong?
Prashant, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Great to see you. I just want to start with, you know, the basic numbers. What went wrong? We weren't expecting a loss from Blue Star. Could you just, dissect that first?
Well, I think you got to remember what I said last time also. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Last time, I did mention to you the downturn had just begun. At an overall level, we saw a distinct slowdown in the second half, related to inflation, related to, I think, the cost of money, the tightening of liquidity. And I think I looked at about 200 company results in the last quarter, and more than half of them are showing a slowdown in terms of billing and profitability, which was expected. The other thing which I had mentioned to all of you last time was that we have some problem with old projects, which as we start completing them, we have to deal with them. Some of them are going slow. There's some cash flow issues on some of the projects, so we wanted to knock out and close or maybe foreclose some of them. That's happened in the first quarter. It's happened further in the second quarter. So these are things which were expected, and we were assuming they would be happening. Perhaps the only item which wasn't perhaps foreseen by the experts, and whatever information we got, was the forex, the dollar climbing very suddenly from I think around mid-August, and it really ramped up about 10%, which affected the forex cost, which has got margin, their imported items, and things like that. So that was one of the items which perhaps I feel we did not foresee. Otherwise, yes, it's a difficult phase they're going through. This will go on for maybe another quarter or two till we get beyond this. On the cooling products and the third
right, I'm just going to come to that. I'm just going to come to that.
Yeah, please.
So you said last quarter, you said the downturn has just begun. So we are now.
You asked me this question specifically, that the downturn, is it what do you think of the overall economy? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And I did mention that. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay. So
I think it's accelerated more in this quarter, in the second quarter.
Yeah. If it's just begun the last quarter for businesses like you, obviously we are somewhere. We're not seeing the full impact of that downturn yet. I would imagine you'd think that the full impact is only going to come through over the next couple of quarters or so, adjusting for, seasonality. Respond to that, if you will. And second, margins have compressed greatly in this quarter. Adjusting for forex, what were core operating profit margins like? And if you could put out an outlook for the rest of the two quarters.
The margins are on different levels. One is the project kind of business, which is much more long cycle. These are some of the projects I mentioned to you now, are fixed cost projects booked some time back. Some of them run for a year, maybe a year and a half, even for 2 years. So there's a big change in the inflationary effects of what costs were and what they are now. Secondly, the cost of money has gone up, so some of the projects are going slow. So on this level, the margins are affected at a different level. If you are asking me for products, the dollar cost has gone up 10%. We have already reacted to that by raising some prices in the last few weeks. That had to be done because the change in the dollar price is quite substantial. On the copper side, if you've been watching, as the dollar has risen, the commodities have eased a bit. Certainly, copper has dropped about 20%. So that's clearly a benefit because we use a lot of copper. What I'm not sure right now what steel will be, how steel will behave. So it's a little difficult to predict exactly what will happen in this kind of economic more volatile than everyone thinks.
Sure.
But I think what one has to do is be prepared for eventualities like this, and I think that's what we're
Right.
doing. I think the growth side is happening on the products and on the third segment. That I'm not so concerned with.
Mr. Jamdar,
Yeah.
so while we're talking about EBITDA margins, are we going to likely see an improvement in the coming few quarters? Are you taking steps and measures for the same? Because that's what your shareholders and the viewers would like to know now that past quarter gone by. What's it likely to be in the next few quarters to come? Are you stepping it up a notch in terms of probably getting back to the original levels?
Yes, Devin. I put it this way: in the short term, we still have to, in the short term, we have to still contend with some of these issues which have happened in the first and second quarter. I think it'll take another quarter or two at least to sort of deal with some of the old projects. That's on segment one. So I see a little more, shall I say, concern there and pressures there on both top line and bottom line. As far as the products and the third segment, that is professional electronics, is concerned, I see, though the slower economy perhaps would affect us, I think the second half we feel internally should be far better. On the long-term view, which is a little beyond 2-3 quarters, I think fundamentally the company is on solid ground, has a good image in the market, seen as market leader, and once the new jobs that we're booking now, we're being very careful. In fact, we have looked at payment terms, looked at pricing, looked at escalation causes due to, so I think in the long run, little beyond maybe 2 quarters, 3 quarters, we'll start seeing an improvement, because project business usually takes a little time to start being visible on the top and bottom line. But we are already seeing these changes happening in the last quarter, internally at least. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Jamdar. Hopefully the next few quarters turn out to be much better for you, and we'll talk once your next quarter numbers come out.
Right.
Best of luck for the coming few quarters. Thanks for chatting with us. That was Mr. Jamdar of Blue Star talking about pressures, economic pressures, order book slowdown, as well as the margins that they've taken a hit on and the forex loss that they've taken on board. We'll go to a short break right now. Coming up on